guys, and welcome to your best channel for your best advice using solutions. So in Zimbabwe, we have been having this kind of disease we are calling infectious coryza. Shortly, some people can just call it coryza. So what is coryza? This is an acute respiratory disease that can affect your chickens. Believe you me guys, this can cause a lot of damage. We are talking between 20%, even up to 50% mortality. Suppose you have 1,000 chickens, we are talking of up to 500 beds that will die. Oh guys, come on. So how best can we tackle with this disease? What are the signs and symptoms? How can we prevent it? Suppose you have been attacked, suppose you have a victim of this disease, how best are you going to cure this disease? So yes, these are the signs and symptoms of infectious coryza. Number one, we have edema. What is edema? Edema, we're talking of the swelling of the head. So normally, the head of your chicken, it starts to swell, or it grows like, a lot of bigger with the comb, the wattles, the eyelids, wherever. There can be, some swellings there under the eyes, the cheeks. So especially when you're talking of the males, they normally swell on the comb. So then so one of the symptoms that you can say now this is infectious coryza. We all have some pale occasions. When paling, we're talking of these are swelling points where you have some. So sometimes there's a pale color. Normally, most chickens they have red, bright red wattle, bright red eyelids. So normally this kind of color they tend to have a pale color. The comb, the eyelids, whatever, even the wattle, they tend to be in terms of a pale color. We also have some foul smell that can occur when in the discharge that can be produced by our birds. They have some smelly stuff that comes out. We also have what we call pink eye or conjunctivitis, which is normally the bubbles that comes out of the eyelids, the corner of the eyes of your chickens, which you can also notify as you've been attacked by this deadly disease. We also have what we call labored opening of the mouth and breathing. So normally they tend to open their mouth when breathing, and they also tend to hardships in terms of breathing, opening their mouth. With this, you can also notice that. You can also have some sounds that come from the mouth, which is a winky pepper or a winkled sound. You can also tend to hear that when they are breathing. And also you have some respiratory disease, some respiratory sounds that you heard. Normally in terms they can be coughing or they can be sneezing. So this disease, we have a lot of symptoms that we can get. We also have what we call anorexia, which is loss of appetite. So I need to talk also on the anorexia. Guys, so when you are talking or when you are asking a vet or when you are asking someone who is equipped with knowledge, or when you are maybe it's a WhatsApp group, maybe it's online, wherever you are asking, guys, don't just say my birds are not eating, what can I give them? Because anorexia is a symptom of many diseases. When something gets sick, normally it doesn't eat. So please be sure that you know anorexia is a symptom of many diseases, which is included in this symptom of infectious coryza. So what makes these birds loss of appetite? Because sometimes they won't be seeing properly, they'll be coughing. So drinking and eating will become a little bit hard for them. They also have some general weaknesses which you call lethargy, which is whereby they struggle to walk. They will be, the movement will be, a little bit complex. So, yes, you can also identify that as the general weakness, considering all these other things that we're talking about. And we also have a drop in egg production. If your birds are laying and you see a sudden change in egg production, you can suspect also this disease, because it also does in the dropping of egg production, and also low in terms of meat production. Yes, since the birds will not be eating, the mobility or the morbidity of your birds in terms of egg and in terms of meat, that means you have a low in terms of weight. So yes, it's one of these diseases that, guys, you really need to look into. There's also possibility of diarrhea. So you can see some diarrheas in your forearm, and you can see also some eyelids, they become crusty and they stuck together. So your birds, the eyes can be closed, and sometimes if they are chicks, they normally tend to huddle towards the heat source. Maybe you have your infrared, you have your charcoal, whatever you are using as your heat source, they tend to huddle close to that place. So sometimes you have some ruffled feathers. Also on ruffled feathers and huddling of chicks, guys, these are generally symptoms of many diseases, and also including this coryza. So you really need to look into different aspects. So sometimes you also see some white stuff that comes from your eyes, and then yes, it's the possible chances of infectious coryza. Now we move on to the transmission of the infectious coryza. Now you have seen that this disease, how it affects our chicken. How can we identify this disease? So how is it transferred into our flora? It can be transferred by air. Yes, it's an airborne disease. Since it is a respiratory disease, it can be transferred through the air. So it can also be transferred by direct contact of openings between one bird to another. So it can also be transferred through contamination of food. So if you buy contaminated food, or if you give contaminated food, like you move your feed from a contaminated place to your chickens, yes, they can be affected as well. And it can also be contaminated water. So make sure that your water is free from pathogens. So I normally say to people, water is the forgotten ingredient. So what water is the best to give your chickens? Water that is safe for you to drink is water that is safe for your chickens also to drink. And also, you can also check on contaminated bedding. Yes, all those, the chickens can get this from your contaminated bedding. Also, contaminated equipment. You can take equipment from a contaminated place to your new stock, and then they can get this disease. Also, contaminated equipment, guys. Contaminated equipment, yes, I've talked about it. And then contaminated in terms of humans. Humans are the worst or the most thing that can transfer diseases from one point to another. Think of it. If a disease is in 100 kilometers afar, can wind blow that disease to your place? Yes, it can, but there are a lot of barriers that can be trees, there are a lot of barriers due to in transit, but humans, they can travel even, think of coronavirus. Yes, humans can travel. Yes, coronavirus can be spread through, air, but humans are the most things that can transmit these diseases. So yes, if you are treating maybe a sick bay, and then you move from the sick bay to the healthy bay, you can transmit that disease as well. And if your clothes are, dirty and they've been contaminated, maybe you're coming from a place where they're contaminated, you can contaminate your batch as well. So contamination can also come from wild birds. They can fly from flock to flock, so you really need to try and avoid wild birds. And also contamination, like in bedding, the chickens can also eat contaminated poo. Thank you guys for listening to us. So if it is your first time to be listening on this channel, Usena Solutions, don't forget to hit that notification bell and smash that subscription button so that you won't miss. For tomorrow's lesson, we are going to see how best can we treat this disease, and how best can we prevent it from entering into our flocks. So stay tuned, guys, for tomorrow's lesson. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the notification bell. Thank you.